Human beings are searching for the personal experience of reality. They are seeking to come to understand themselves, to find a reason for their own existence.
And so you go round and round and round, ever chasing the illusion that there is something outside yourself, outside your here and now, to be attained that will make things better.
No guru, no method, no teacher, and no nothing else either.
All right, welcome everybody. We have a special guest. I'm already laughing because I feel like I'm going to butcher your name. Kayla Shretta.
You're close.
Shretta.
Yeah,
I
there
said
you go.
I said it like you said. They said it on the pizza thing.
Yeah, the pizza boys.
Okay. Anyhow, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Beyond my dog going nuts. The first question I normally ask people is, what are you grateful for today?
Oh, wow. I'm grateful for damn near everything. Like, my life was really, really bad before, so, like, I could find, like, good in everything. And I feel like if you focus on what you're grateful for rather than what you don't have, I don't know, life's just more miserable that way. So I can honestly say that I'm grateful for, like, my sobriety today, my family, opportunities like this, meeting people along the way that help me with things.
Yeah,
Lots
for
of
sure.
gratitude.
Yeah, whatever you focus on grows. So the more that you're grateful, the more opportunities you get. This is kind of spare of the moment because I normally give people this question in advance so they can prepare for it.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
What quotes do you feel most moved by, like 2 or 3, and what do they mean to you?
Oh, wow. You suck. Get rich or die trying. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just playing.
I don't even know what you said.
I said get rich or die trying. I'm just being stupid. All right, let me think. Oh, I like this one. It was actually on when I went to treatment. It was on the coin that I got. Life is a journey, not a destination. I like that one a lot.
Mhm.
Let me think. What other ones I like? God, I can see why you give people time on this one, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, I like this one. Actually, it just popped, excuse me, up on my Facebook. I don't even know if it's a quote, but it's kind of like a recovery-related thing. But how does it go? Having resentments is like drinking the poison yourself, but expecting somebody else to die.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's all I got for right now.
That's
Maybe
cool.
I'll let you know towards the end. I wasn't expecting that one.
That's cool. Could you explain who you are and what you do?
Well, who am I and what do I do? Like for work or like as a person?
However you want to answer it. It's not like rules.
Okay, who I am. I'm really like still learning who I am, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit like about me is I'm a recovering addict, so I'll have 2 years in August, so I'm still like growing and like even learning who Kayla really is. But I some things about me, you know, I read tarot cards. I am a medium. I do Reiki healing. I love healing people. I just love it. Like that's a lot of like what I'm trying to do right now is just help people and show them different ways to guide them and things of that nature. I don't know. I'm a good friend. I'm funny. I don't know.
Very
I am.
good. Very good.
Shut up.
Did you feel like you were different than others as a kid? And like, when did you notice? Like, what was the first instance?
Oh God. Probably as soon as I seen the light. No, I'm kidding. Different. Okay, now are we talking about like on a spiritual side or are we talking about just like different as like
Just in general.
in general? Okay.
Like I've always been a weird person. So.
Yeah, me too. But there's 2 different kinds of weird. Like I got like spiritual weird and like, oh, I'm an addict weird. That different feeling.
See, for me, they're all relative. They're all the same thing.
Yeah, I guess. All right. Well, I'll try to vibe with both of that then. Okay. So I always felt different than everyone for like ever. Like I always felt like no matter where I went, like I was alone. Even if I could get along with everyone around me. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like I could like totally mold into like everyone else's like genre of person, but like I didn't really feel connected half the time.
Yeah, lonely in a room full of people.
Yeah, that's a real friggin' thing, man. Like, and you know, there were other ways that I thought I was different. Like, when I was younger and stuff, like I used to see things like, you know, spirits and stuff like that. And that definitely no one understood that. And everyone told me it wasn't real. Now, later in life, I understand it and I use it to my advantage, but that made me feel different for sure. And now it's kind of funny, like, now as I'm coming into this, like my friends and stuff, they'll tell me like stories about when we were younger, like things they weren't surprised at all when I told them about the medium stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was, but they were like, oh, but like he used to do this and that, and I completely through drug use forgot about all of that. But so yeah, I've always felt real different,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely know that I have too. One of the things that like I just feel like clarifying, like when I said that I think that the weirdness things are the same, like for me, some of my like quote unquote superpowers or gifts or whatever
Right.
are like definitely things that I feel like is part of the reason that I was an addict was to cover up some of that stuff because it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I heard
Yeah.
somebody indirectly, somebody I know heard somebody basically explain to them that they think that all addicts kind of have superpowers, but we kind of mask them so we don't really understand what they are. And I think that there's a lot of validity to that. I think most people have some kind of innate ability to do something that other people don't, but they shut it off.
Yep.
So that's kind of what I meant. It's all relative to me.
100% is what you just said.
Do you have any odd experiences you are willing to discuss?
Oh man, like what genre? I got a lot of odd experiences. Like
just one or two that come to your mind that are like the most prevalent or most pertinent to you right now.
Okay, let me think. Yeah, well, one that comes to my mind is when I first got sober. This was like one of my first like spiritual experiences, one of the ones that like I really remember. Like I didn't have a driver's license and I really wanted to drive my car, and it was sitting at my mom's house, and you know, like I was new in recovery and I was still very much wanting to do my own thing. And I went out and I started the car the night before, and like it started, it was fine. The next day I tell my mom, she's not home. I'm like, where are my car keys? I'm going to go to this meeting. And she was like, Kayla, she started using words like self-will with me. And I'm like, where did you learn this stuff at? And so I was like, well, you know, I don't really know like what I'm doing. So I went and I prayed, and I still wasn't like in a real place of like praying all the time, but I prayed like, you know, to whatever that was listening, like show me, and whatever this was knows I'm hard-headed, show me that I'm not supposed to go drive that car. I was also supposed to pick up some people in recovery, I guess you could say. So I go out to my car and it wouldn't start. Just started the night before. Wouldn't start. And the dude that I was supposed to pick up, he called me like, and he was like, just jump the car. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like this was a sign. I shouldn't. The car started up later that day after the plans were already done and too late. I found out later that day that that house that I was supposed to go pick everyone up at, they were all like, you know, doing some really hard drugs. And I only had about 40 days sober. I don't know if I'd have made it out. That guy that asked me to pick him up, he died about a week later.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And funny thing is, every time, you know how like as addicts, I don't know about you, but I could feel when I'm crazy, especially in early recovery. Like I'd have moments where I was like, whoa, like it was dangerous for me to be in my car. My car just wouldn't start all the time early in recovery. And it would start like an hour later. Like if me and my ex would get in a fight and I'd want to get in my car and drive, it wouldn't start. I think that was some like universal stuff protecting me. I don't know. Like I have a lot of weird experiences. Let me see here. God, I don't even know. I don't know. I have a lot of weird ones with like dead people, you know. I'll be somewhere and I'll just have like a random person appear to me, and that's kind of like what helped me get used to this was like for clarification, if you will, like meditating. I'd have my grandmother come to me, and she would like tell me to call my grandpa and say things to him, and things that like were way before my mother was even born, let alone me. And one of the times in particular, she told me to call him and say this name to him. And I said this name to him. It ended up being somebody he knew that she used to have coffee with on a regular basis. And pretty much like, yeah, it was their wedding anniversary, like their 50-year wedding anniversary, the day that I called her and told him that. So like weird stuff like that like happens to me. I have a lot of odd experiences. I'm trying to think of a good one.
We can always come back to it if something comes up.
I have a lot of them. It's hard to pick one.
For sure. Most of the time I give, like I said, I give these questions to people ahead of time, but I haven't been using them lately, so I didn't really think of it. What superpowers do you possess, or what superpower would you want?
Oh gosh. I don't know if I can handle any more right now. So I'm good with the ones that I have right now. But superpower. I'm very much an empath, I guess. That's a blessing and a curse, I feel like sometimes. I'm just now learning. It's kind of cool that what you said about I can relate with how your superpowers could lead you to drugs. You know, the uncomfortable. I'm just now learning that most of the feelings that I feel aren't even necessarily mine. Like I will feel other people's stuff, and it's getting like really good to the point where I'll be like, I could tell somebody how they feel, and I have to like separate, like that is theirs, not yours. I was sitting next to somebody the other day, and I had to like, I kind of rudely moved way down the couch because it felt intoxicating the way they felt. Like waves, ripples, just a, you know, and it hurts me sometimes. It like literally hurts. You know that, like, so I could feel people's energy, very much so their energy. You know, I'm psychic, so, you know, I get premonitions and stuff like that. The dead people, yeah, the dead people, they're something. That's another superpower, I guess. And I can use that to my advantage. They come to me in dreams. Sometimes they come to me during the day and they give me warnings. They give me messages to tell people. And I don't even understand why or what it means, but that person always does. I don't know. So that's pretty much, that's the superpowers we're calling it that I have.
Nice. Yeah.
What
being
kind
an
do you have?
empath is difficult. I definitely have like empathic traits, but I've really learned to develop past a lot of the hindrances of them. So for me, like, I have mental health diagnoses as well, and it's interesting that some of those diagnoses kind of have symptoms of being an empath in it.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Right,
So I have
get it.
that tarot reading, kind of like clairaudience in a sense, where like I'll hear things, or like certain things can be like, the easiest way to describe it is like bold or italicized in certain like conversations, or like listening to stuff, like certain things will stand out to me and it'll be incredibly like pertinent to what I need to do personally.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm that too then. I didn't know what the name of it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and it can really fuck me up sometimes too, though, because sometimes I can like misconstrue what it means. I've done a lot of dumb shit because of that.
Oh, no, I get it.
Um,
Full of MFR.
I would also say, just when I went to see the psychic in Sedona, she talked about me being able to like go through different dimensions throughout a day, and I think that that's one of my things. Like I'm constantly like shifting.
Have you ever? That's funny because I forgot about that one. Have you ever seen another dimension?
I mean, I've been psychotic for over a year of my life total, so I'm sure.
Don't call. That's so funny. No, I mean, like, no, because I'm not. I hope to God I'm not psychotic. Who really knows anymore? But I mean, I've seen like other. I didn't know what it was. I just told this lady. she's kind of like mentoring me. I told her like what I saw, and she's like, I was freaked out. Like it looked like a whole page of a book, like in a shadow. I was zoning, just driving in my car, and I just watched it happen. It scared me to the point where I was like, I don't want to drive into that, and she was just like, oh, no big deal. You just seen another dimension. Cause I was like, what? Like, yeah. So, you ever see aliens? Like in meditation? Oh,
I've had a bunch of weird fucking experiences. Like sometimes it can be difficult to discern what was real, what was my thoughts projecting. Like,
right.
I would say that I don't really spend too much time thinking about what I think about, like what's happened. Like it's cool and it's interesting, but it's also like trying to put a label on some of it defeats the purpose. Like I experienced a bunch of shit when I was psychotic, and some people would say that that's not real, but at the same time, I think that it's like my mind being in a different reality than what my body is.
Right. It's real to you.
So like it was definitely fucking real because like that's a whole different thing. I'm trying to explain that logically, explain insanity logically.
I understand it.
I'm trying to think of how to put it. Like there was things that would like, when I was psychotic, that would physically happen in real reality that like I knew were going to happen, or like, well, this is going to happen. But then there was these other elements of it that were like hallucinations, or not hallucinations, but what's the other one? Just kind of like deviant thoughts or whatever. So it was weird.
No, I get it. I went psycho once. Pretty good. I just like snapped when I was it was right when I was turning 18. I don't know what happened, but I like lost my mind for almost 30 days. Like it was really intense. Wasn't using either. Matter of fact, I started as soon as that's what brought me out of it, smoking a little weed. But I quit everything and I went crazy, and I was only smoking weed. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. It was crazy.
For sure.
I don't know what happened to me. Dude, I thought that like the Smashing Pumpkins, dude, Billy Corgan was like talking to me in his CD. Yeah, I went batshit crazy.
What circumstances do you feel shaped your life?
Oh man. All right, so I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. So, and some of like the we'll call them like tragedies. Like I have this joke, like I measure my life like by traumatic events. That's how I remember how stuff happened, because it's just one thing after another, and like that stuff messed me up for a long time. But now, like, man, thank God I made it through them. But like, they made me who I am. They, conditioned my heart to be the way that it should be. I think they helped my senses. Because I had some pretty, I had a pretty crazy life. Like, I was in a lot of institutions growing up. From probably about like 12 to 16. I spent very good chunk of my life in mental institutions. And, that I've had a lot of near-death experiences as a result of suicide attempts. So I was on life support a few times from those. Also through me acting crazy with the institution, suicide, self-mutilation, stuff like that, I ended up in children's services custody. I had to be in group homes for girls and stuff. I just had a really crazy life. So I had like a lot of circumstances that I think conditioned me to make it through the type of life that I had. So they all molded me. Now I have like a ginormous heart for like kids with mental health issues, or anyone for that matter that has a hard time with their brain, because it sucks, and it can definitely take you to some crazy places. So yeah,
I can definitely connect with that. What positive lessons did you learn from your negative experiences?
One, trust, because like this is one thing I didn't do. I never trusted my intuition. I would like literally go do something with that terrible feeling in my stomach, or like them voices jumping off, and I would just be like, oh, like whatever. And then something terrible would happen, and I'd be like, man, you knew that was going to happen. That's one thing. So now, like, if I have a bad feeling, I just cancel. I don't even care anymore. I cancel. I don't need to explain myself. Like, that's one thing. Another one, I'm grateful that I've been very, very blessed to have this quality about me. I could find the good and I could find the light in the dark all the time. I think that's so important for survival. You know, if you just look at the dark, your life is going to be dark. If you could see that little, you know, shimmer of light, that light grows. You know what I mean? And it makes your life better. Like, I get real irritated with people that like have so much to be grateful for, and all they do is piss and moan. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, you're naming all these bad things that really you can change. They're so easy to change. It might suck a little bit, but then you're like, there's all these good things around you that you're just neglecting.
For sure.
And if you focus on that, it reminds me of this one. I can't remember what card it is in my deck, but the guy's like down on one knee and he has like, and he looks so in despair and he has like all these cups. It's a cup card. I think it might be the 5 of cups. He's got, yeah, it is. He got like all these cups down in front of him, but then he's got 2 shining right behind him, but he's totally not paying attention to those ones. I don't know.
That is 5 of cups because he has like 3 spilled out.
Yeah.
Behind him.
Yeah. If you just look at them bright ones back there, he might be all right, you know? Sorry.
No, you're fine. This is kind of a more fun question. What songs or bands have lyrics that most resonate with you at this moment?
Oh, goodness. I don't even know if they resonate. Some of the ones. I listen to a lot of heavy metal and punk. So, I don't know why. There's this one song that I love, and I've loved it since I've gotten sober, and I don't even like the band that much. I don't really listen to POD at all. But there's this one song, I think it's called Sleeping Awake, actually.
I forgot all about that band.
Most friggin' people have. I don't know. I didn't. When I got sober, apparently I needed to hear that song like 45 times a day. I don't know. What's another one? Oh, I really like this song by a band called In Flames. Crawling Through Knives, I think it's called.
Sounds pleasant.
Oh, well, it is. If you're crazy, which I am. I can't remember how it goes because he screams a lot, so you gotta sift through that. But yeah, I like those songs.
That's cool. Yeah, as long as it resonates with you personally. What philosophy, spirituality, or religions do you find most aligned with your understanding? And please explain them as they apply to you.
Well, as far as religions go, I don't even mess with it. I'm okay. So like when I got clean, I still do believe in God. But like, I don't know, through meditation and being like awakened for the second time. I was awakened when I got sober. I was just so grateful. Like, oh, there's got to be something that gave me this power to get better, because like I could never ever do it. But then like now I've had like a whole nother one, and whoa, mind blowing. Now I'm kind of like, what is life type stuff, like, you know. I just believe that there's so much that you can't even see. I feel, but I can't see. Well, I can see it now too, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that it's just like, wow, I shouldn't be allowed to decide what that is. I just know that I go with whatever's around me, what I feel. And I really do. I'm super drawn to Egyptian stuff. I am really exploring that more. I think them people are just like, whoa. And, you know, I like some Buddhism stuff. I don't know. I just like a lot of different things. Like I like Greek mythology. I just like a lot of different stuff. But as far as religion goes, I don't know. I just feel like as long as you got something better than you, I don't put the power in Kayla.
You know how the power of Kayla doesn't compel you?
No, that sounds like some exorcism stuff. No, but like, I look to nature. I look to just signs. I just look to stuff like that. I just try to be in tune with what's around me, animals, stuff like that. As far as religion, I don't know. Some of it has like rules, and I don't like rules.
Even nature has laws and stuff like
Right.
that. So
yeah, good point. Good point. Don't tell me that I'm gonna hate nature next.
that's your own loss.
I'm kidding.
You can fight against reality all you want to.
God knows I've been doing that for long enough.
Who inspires you?
Who inspires me? Dun, 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 dun. I get inspired by a lot of different things. You know what I mean? Like I said, it goes back to that, like finding the light and everything. I look for beauty in everything. I can find like the good in anything. Sometimes I get into trouble, but I get real inspired by artists, whether it be painters or musicians. I just get like inspired by deep stuff. You know what I mean? I don't even really know like how to put like a name.
Stuff and things.
Stuff and things. Yeah, there you go. Thanks for helping me out. Stuff and things.
You got it. What like 2 or 3 books would you recommend to other people, or like what books impacted you the most?
God, let me think.
No.
Don't think.
No.
Oh, well, there was one book that I just read. Hold on, but it's not for everyone. Unfortunately, you have to deal with a lot of shitty people. So I want to read this book. It's called The Wizard of Narcissist. It's ironically about a narcissist. It's
You don't say.
No.
I'm surprised.
It helped me through a very, very dark time recently. That book really helped me see who they are and how manipulative, and work with that. But I don't know. Like I've just been like reading a bunch of little things. I always did like Marilyn Manson's The Long Hard Road Out of Hell.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not like a good self-help book, but it is kind of freaky.
It doesn't have to be self-help book. It can just be any book.
Marilyn Manson's kind of freaky.
I'm not familiar with who that is.
Please tell me you're kidding. Okay, I'm actually going to see him.
I'm sorry.
No, what? Oh, we can't. Cut.
So if you had to describe your personal philosophy or condense your life experience into about 3 or 4 words, what would that be? Like in a sentence structure too.
Have we met? I am like a woman of like many words. Okay.
It sounded like what was Will Ferrell's character name in Anchorman?
Oh, was it Ron Burgundy?
Yeah, that's like a Ron Burgundy thing. Ron Burgundyism. 3 or 4.
Yeah, okay. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Buttercup's one word.
No, I gave it. Okay, suck it up, Buttercup. Okay.
What else you gonna do? Can't do nothing.
What else you gonna? That's 5.
Oh, you want more than one?
No. What you said is I'm just being a dick now.
Oh, okay. All right then.
All right. I've asked other people to end the show in their own fashion. You don't have to, but you have any like closing words? I'll have to put you on the spot.
Yeah, you like to put me right on the spot.
It's a good experience for you.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know. I'm happy to be here. This was fun. You're a funny dude. Smart ass for sure, but
Thanks.
I don't know.
You don't have any wisdom to leave the listeners with?
Wisdom.
You have a knowledge box?
Fresh out of wisdom. When I shaved half my head, I shaved the corner of wisdom right off. So
Okay.
I don't really know. Like, what do you mean? Like, Just go with what you feel. Pay attention to the signs.
Okay.
Peace, love. Give me